Welcome to my video on my Kodak PIXPRO AZ405 camera. What I want to do in this video is I want to change out the SD card, show you how to do that, talk a little bit about SD cards in general. So this camera has got, I've just had a 1 gigabyte hard SD card, is all I had at the time. And so I ordered a 64 gigabit and I'm going to insert that. So this just slide there, that slide goes this way, opens it up, there's your batteries, and there's the little SD card right there. Now, punch on that, it should pop out. Kind of remember how it comes out, because you're gonna have that towards the back, and that it only fit in there one way. So when you put your new card in, if it really shows resistance, be careful, you might be putting it in the wrong way. So this one, like this, goes in. This is my 64 gigabit, 64 times as much memory storage as the other one. And I'm gonna go through that in just a second. So put that in there, click it down, okay, good. Now, I can unclick it, it pops out, so it's in there, it's a good fit. Put it back in there, close that up. Now, I want to turn my camera on and make sure it comes on okay. And it looks like it's working. Now I'm just taking a quick picture. I'll take a picture of that card. Okay, there it is. I took a picture of the card. So it seems to be working. So what I want to do is talk a little bit about these SD cards, what they are. Now, some people, just kind of reading up on this, recommend that you format the SD card once it's in there, but I read the manual. The manual did not call for that. So I'm not going to do that unless I need to at some point in the future. But there is a procedure to format that card for this PIXPRO, but the manual did not tell me to do that immediately, so I'm not going to do it. So talking a little bit about SD cards, the SD version goes up to 2 gigabytes, SDHC goes up to 32 gigabytes, and I got the SDXC, this is the card that I purchased, the 64 gigabits and higher. And then the Kodak recommends, or it requires, an SD, an HC, or an XC card. These capacities 4 gigabytes to 512 gigabytes. So the 64 gigabits should be enough for what I need, because I'll transfer it to my computer. And it recommends a class 10 or higher, which is 10 megabits per second. That's the write speed. That's the speed that when you take a picture or a video, it transfers it to the card internally here. So that's the memory speed that it writes to memory. There's, on this front of the card, it also mentions like 140 megabits per second, but that is the speed that you can transfer the information from the SD card to a computer. So this is the really important number. When you're taking a video, like on this one little 1 gigabyte old card I had here, it was not fast enough, and I got errors. And I only was able to put just a minute or two of video on there, and then and a few photographs, and it just locked up. It just said overload. So got an error on that. So the 64 gigabytes, I should store a lot on there. So 64 gigabits of pictures, that's plenty for personal use in my YouTube videos. And like I said, the 140 megabit per second rate that it mentions on that, that is to transfer it from the SD card to the computer. That's different than this write speed right here. This is the important one you need so your videos don't lock up when you're recording. And I'm going to take a bunch of pictures of this camera now and start experimenting with it and hopefully show you some of those in the future. But I want to thank you for watching and following me on my journey with my new camera. Like I said, it's been 15-20 years since I had a digital camera other than a specialized cameras or an iPad, or an iPhone. So I want to thank you for watching.